on your wavelength, learning to glow. I'm your friend and host, Low Bro. Today, our episode is called The Ghost of Inaction, How Unlived Potential Haunts You. It's one of the most common sentiments on someone's deathbed, whether it's an old person or usually, really, uh, is that they wish they took more action in their life. They wish they took more risks. They wish they had tried more things or done that passion that they never tried, or actually, you know, did something other than the 9 to 5 every day, uh, work, go to sleep, sort of life. There's so much more to it than that. There's vacation, there's family, there's maybe you create your own business for you. You're in yourself, and maybe you're self-employed. Halloween's coming up, and every ghost story starts out the same way. Something that should have moved on that refused to, right? So, what about you? Are you holding on to something that you haven't taken action on yet? And this is true for responsibilities. This is true for passions and dreams. And these are almost like the samskaras we talked about, right? Every time you see someone doing a thing that you've always wanted to try, you're going to keep thinking, oh, I wish I tried that. And every time you say you wish you tried that, you put more distance between you and it instead of actually doing it. Like, what have you got to lose? Oh, you're going to fail? You're going to mess up? Well, yeah, everyone's going to. Did you know this is my second time recording this episode because I forgot to hit record? I failed and I had to start over. There is an actual phenomenon called the Zeigarnik Effect. Unfinished tasks that occupy mental bandwidth. It's like they haunt our attention. That's that samskara or whatever you want to call it. Pick a word. But every time I thought about the Lowbro show while I wasn't recording or doing anything with it, I was like, man, I know I can help people and I'm not doing anything with it. I felt guilty. And I'm not saying I'm here out of guilt. Was it a factor? Sure. But I'm here because I feel responsible to bring this thing to fruition. I've always known I'm capable of speaking, helping, teaching, and I'm really good at teaching what I learn. I've learned that throughout my life as a trainer of trainers at a job I had, into dog training, and now as a podcast host, talking about the things that I'm doing in my life that have helped me. And I felt guilty for not putting this show on. I felt guilty for not actually making the podcast like I said I would. For years, this show started on, I believe, June 8th, 2017. It's October of 2025. And probably all of 2018 and forward, I kept saying this was going to be a podcast. I was going to record it and I was going to have guests on and do things. And I never did it. Every time I went to record, I started from a place of scarcity, blank. I didn't know what to start with. I didn't know what to say or do. And that's a huge difference for me this time. Is this time I have years worth of ideas for episodes. I'm starting from a place of abundance because I've written down all of the ideas that I've had. Are you writing down the things that you have ideas for that you maybe want to try? Do you have an idea list? You don't have to be a great ideator. Like, you don't have to be an ideas, that doesn't have to be your skill set to still think of things that you could do for yourself. I believe firmly, and I'm sure we're going to do an episode on it one day, that humans are creators. We want to make, build, do something. At least that is innate in me, in so many people that I know. We all feel like we need to make something. I do. And I knew I needed to make this show. Halloween carries this theme of life and death, between potential and expression. And it's an important time of our life to reflect. Now, the holidays are coming up. We're going to be seeing family, probably, at least many of us in North America. One of my favorite authors, Greg McKeown, I think I'm saying his name right. He wrote the book Essentialism. It has changed my life. That book has been one of the most impactful books on my life because it has taught me about what is and isn't important, how to say no to the right opportunities, say yes to the vital few. Well, he says if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. And isn't that the truth? Are you just doing what everyone else needs you to do in your life, or are you actually prioritizing yourself first? Because I actually believe the best way that we can love people in our life, I don't believe this. This is true. This just is true. Is by taking care of ourselves first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Fill up your cup. Do what's important for you so that you can bring to the world what they need from you. And that is you coming alive. Life and death, right? How do you come alive? Well, this unlived potential of yours, these things that you know you could do that you haven't really taken action on yet, maybe they're responsibilities, maybe they're a real dream or thing that you've always wanted to try but haven't done anything for and just said you wished you could do it. Well, are those festering and rotting? Because I said this in chat earlier, but comfort is like a coffin with Wi-Fi. Because as long as we're connected to the internet, it's so easy to not do anything else and just feel comfortable with life and accept the status quo and entertain ourselves to death. What is that unlived potential of yours? Because resistance will tell you anything to keep you from doing your work. Stephen Pressfield said that. The War of Art. The unlived potential of this show haunted me. I knew I needed to make this thing happen because I knew I was responsible for helping people. I knew that I could help people. I knew that the message I wanted to share with people could help people. And I was able to make this show from a place of abundance because I started reading things that I was passionate about, writing notes about those things, getting ideas for things I could talk about, and writing down all those ideas. And after writing down ideas for weeks, I have years worth of ideas that we could do episodes on. But yeah, comfort is stagnation. Comfort is like death. There is comfort, and then there's too much comfort. Are we just entertaining our life away? Or is there something out there that we're supposed to do that we should be? And I don't know what that is for you, but I know it is for me, and that's this, what you're hearing right now. James Clear. I talk about Atomic Habits a lot because it's just a fantastically practical book. James Clear says, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Remember, I said the Zeigarnik Effect. Unfinished tasks occupy our mind. They're like ghosts. They haunt us. Unfinished potential of yours that is like a ghost. It's haunting us and just hanging out in the back of our mind all the time. And every time we think of it, it's kind of like, more guilt, more shame, more feel bad about not doing this. So you have two choices. Well, three. You could just keep living out that painful re-experience of that every time. Or you choose to let it go and forgive that, or say you're over that. That's not something you actually want. Or you take one small, tiny, actionable step towards your goal, towards your dream, towards that thing that you know you want to do but haven't yet. So inaction can feel like rest, but it's like cognitive debt. It's just sitting there waiting to unfold. It's this energy that's just existing there that you haven't taken advantage of. It's free energy. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say energy? Follow me here for a second. I've talked about this in a previous episode, but aren't there experiences in your life that when they happen, you get tons of energy from them? Like something like, what if you won the lottery right now? What if someone gave you $100 million right now? Wouldn't you be full of energy and running around and like, wouldn't that be insane? But what actually changed in your life? Nothing has changed yet, except you know one more thing. Nothing has changed except you understand one new thing. So isn't the things that we haven't done, aren't they the same way? Those things that we haven't done, aren't they the same way? Like, isn't that unlived energy that we haven't lived out yet that's free to us? Like, don't you want to take action on those things? Fear is clever. It can look like patience, but potential will rot if you let it fester. So you got to heal it or take action on it, which is healing it too. So is there a quote unquote ghost project of yours that keeps reappearing, that knocks every year around maybe this time? It's a time of reflection. You know, we're going to be getting into Thanksgiving time very soon. And what? That's all about being thankful and grateful, right? That's reflection. This is no different. It's a time of year we often reflect. It's common, it's natural, at least for me. Avoidance feels like control because nothing's moving, but that's the illusion of it, right? It's cognitive debt just sitting there. It's haunting you. So what's that ghost project? Inaction can almost feel like recurring trauma, right? Coming back to make us feel bad about ourselves. Did you know Stephen Pressfield? I'm starting to like this guy, learning more about him and reading his book. Action is the antidote to anxiety. Have you ever heard that? Are these things, this cognitive debt, is this causing you anxiety? Are you getting anxious every time this comes to mind and you don't do anything about it? That's just torture. That's recurring haunt. You're being possessed by everyone else's dreams because they're prioritizing your life for you. Remember what Greg said. If you don't prioritize your life, someone will prioritize it for you. You have to act. I've been talking about this a lot. You have to take action. Motivation follows action. Mood follows motion, not the other way around. So I have a challenge for you this week. Can you name that ghost? So think about this for a moment. Take a second with me and think. Take a moment of silence and think for just a moment. Be super present with me, okay? Flow with me, if you will. What's the name of that ghost? Is there something? Maybe you are already taking action on this, and that's fantastic. That's great. Just make sure you're not afraid of your dreams, because we're capable of doing anything with our lives. I believe all of you have the potential to change the world, to change people's lives. And now more than ever, I feel it's important for us to be taking action. I guess the only time we ever have is now. James Clear says you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So if you decide to start taking action on a thing, make it a small system. Turn it into something you can systematize. Something you can do on a regular basis. And start to get some inertia. Start to get some movement. Start to get that creative juices flowing or whatever you need for that project. But just start it. Viktor Frankl said, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. Man, if Viktor Frankl can say that, again, he wrote Man's Search for Meaning, fantastic book about living in a Nazi concentration camp. And he says, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. Your lack of meaning and purpose will haunt you, just like it's been haunting me. So is there something you want to share right now or think about that you can write down? Take a moment. What is that going to be? And what is your next step? Just decide what your next step is. Just deciding is one step. That's one small movement. It's inertia. You're taking action. And maybe you don't know where to start. So starting is researching that. Where do I start? Now more than ever, knowledge is available to us if we look for it. Everything is learnable online these days, really. If you want to end this possession, to end this haunting, you have to start taking action. You have to start moving. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you're capable of literally anything. Anything you see other people do, you can do. If you want it bad enough and you try. But this is your wake-up call. Because there are ghosts haunting all of us. Unlived potential, unlived energy that's just ripe and sitting there waiting for you to do something with. And I don't want to see all of us one day on our deathbed regretting not taking action on that. If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. Each action you take is a vote for who you want to become. Even Seneca, one of the greatest of the Stoics, said, while we are postponing, life speeds by. Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. What does it look like for you to stand on the stage of those passions or dreams of yours and doing something with it. What does that look like for you? That's my only challenge for you this week. It's a time to reflect and really think about what's important to us and showing up, not just for other people, but for ourselves, and prioritizing ourselves. One of my favorite quotes ever is by a man I don't even know. I honestly, genuinely don't even know who he is, and probably should check that out after this episode. Howard Thurman said, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who come alive." And I have always believed in that. And that's kind of been a mantra behind this show. And I believe that for all of us, that if you're going to help the world in the greatest way possible, it's by coming alive. And you come alive by living out that unlived potential of yours. What is that?